Look at me reading a book. It's been, I want to say almost a year since I've been in this reading slump. And I mean, not to say that I haven't been reading, I have here and there many things I've picked up and started and, read a quarter, a half, even 3/4 and didn't finish. I did finish a few things, but that's not what this is going to be about. This is me reading The Strength of the Few by James Islington. I mean, this will be a spoiler-free vlog since this is book 2 in the series. But I think I'm just so damn excited that I am reading again and finding the urge to pick this up consistently and really enjoying it, even though I will say that I have forgotten so much from the first book that a lot of what they're talking about in here, like the politics and some of the, what do you call it, like their divisions, their rankings, really are meaning nothing to me because I don't remember. But still, there's enough action and mystery as to what's going on that it's really pulling me in and keeping me intrigued. And I feel that James Islington's writing is so easy to read that it is really a great way to kind of get myself back into fantasy without feeling bogged down and like I have to try too hard. This is all on the cusp of the new Sun Eater book coming out today. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to be delivered. I started reading The Strength of the Few a few days ago. I'm like 115 pages in, and it's 725 pages long, or something like that. So even though the new Sun Eater is coming out today, I do plan on finishing this and then picking up the Sun Eater. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this, and maybe this will be its own vlog, or maybe I will combine the two. I don't really know. I'm kind of winging it. I'm feeling very much an amateur at this again, like not that I was ever a pro, but yeah, I miss vlogging. I miss talking about books. I miss editing my videos. I miss discussing the books that I'm reading with you, and I miss reading in general, honestly. I really have missed it. Like, I've wanted to read, and every time I would try to, it just ended badly, mostly. So, that being said, I'm 115 pages in, and I am really liking the turn of events that he has taken. I will say I didn't see it coming, and I don't know if that's just because I've been out of the loop and just kind of away from the bookish world. But he is, yeah, he kind of took it in a direction that I had no idea, I did not see coming. And it's a pleasant surprise. It's been really, really intriguing. So I don't know if you have read The Will of the Many. It is all about ranking and those higher ranking pulling will from those below, and it basically leaves people low on the totem pole kind of weak and lethargic and not really able to achieve much, and those higher ranking people powerful and obscenely powerful, and that whole imbalance of power. Those people who just don't believe in the system and feel that it's really wrong that you should have to cede any of your will to someone else. And so you have your main person, your main guy, his name's Diago. The first book was very heavily kind of politically charged and a lot of secrets and mystery. And this one is following that same kind of path, but with a new twist to the story. So it's been really fun. I'm really enjoying it. I will do another update when I get a little further in. That's about it. Don't mind me, by the way. I've been sick, so I'm playing hooky from work today. Just sitting on the sofa in my PJs. Hair's still kind of damp, and yeah. So that's that. I'll check back in. Also, quickly, I'll have to share some point some clips. We got a puppy, and he is a poodle, a standard poodle. He's like 4 months today, and he is already 28 pounds. He is a wild man and such a freaking joy. He's so smart, and I just love him so much. We've been taking him on hikes and just introducing him to our friends' dogs and really trying to socialize him well, which we failed to do with our other two, and they're just kind of little jerks. Love them to death. I'm at work, but I have a slow morning, so I just sat here and read my book for like 40 minutes. I just wanted to say that I just this morning watched Chris and Maddie's recap of The Will of the Many, and I'm so glad that I did, because I didn't even realize how much I had forgotten since reading the first book like a year ago. And I think it really helped me to fall back into place with the goings-on in this book. And let me just say, there is so much going on in this book. The different relationships, the different moving pieces within the hierarchy, the history, just so much. It's so well thought out and so well executed to this point that I am really, honestly, really glad that I watched that video, because I think it immensely helped me to recall what the heck is going on and who the key players are and their names and everything else. But yeah, this story, I really feel like it's such a masterpiece. Like, it's just so well done and easy to read. Like, it's really consumable. I think you just have to remember it's like a game of chess. You're just remembering all the moving pieces and trying to think 2 steps ahead. Highly recommend this series. If you have not read it, you should. No time like the present. Go pick up the first book and read it. So I just thought I would give you a quick rundown of some of the books that I read and actually finished during my, like, the last, 8 months, and I was in this book slump. So this is going to be a quick rundown. I'm not going to go into any major detail about any of these, except for to say, sorry, except for just to say whether I liked it or not. I read Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Bastarrica. This book was pretty disturbing. I really enjoyed it, though. I thought that the writing explored some really interesting topics that are relevant and important concerning consumption and the future of the world. I'm pretty sure I gave this one a 4-star. I don't have my ratings in front of me, so I'm just kind of going off of memory. I then read Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman. I loved this book. If you guys know, at the end of last year, I started a little series before my slump of trying to find scary books that are actually scary. And I will have to say that this one will totally fits that ticket. It was so freaking creepy and so well done. It's written from the perspective of an 8-year-old girl, I believe it is, and it talks about her other mother. It really plays heavily on a lot of your classical childhood nightmare type themes and ideas, and really, really good. Highly recommend if you're into scary books. Great book. Next, I read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Obviously, this is a book I think everybody's going to be familiar with. I thought it was a fun read. I flew through it. It was super easy to read, and it was enjoyable. It kept me guessing. It definitely had a twist that I didn't expect. I would say that, I don't know, it kind of felt a little bit cliche at times, so I think I gave it a 3-star. So it was good. I enjoyed it. It was one of those books where, you're in a slump, you want things that are going to be kind of easy to read and just nothing challenging or anything that's going to take take me out of it because I really want something that's going to hold my attention, pull me in, etc., etc. So next I read Seed by Anaya Alborn. This is another horror book. Pretty sure I gave this one 4 stars. It plays on family, like generational trauma, as well as the scary themes of like possession. So is it really possession or is it your trauma? You know, it's one of those up to interpretation, though some of it was pretty creepy. I really enjoyed it. Next, I read Come Closer by Sarah Gran. This is another horror book, and it deals with possession. Can you see a theme here? I loved this book. It's short, easy to read, really creepy, and it is told in like a first-person perspective of the person who is actually dealing with the entity and the possession. And again, another one that leaves things up to interpretation in many ways. Easy read, highly recommend. I read Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce. Excuse me, I'm still getting over my cold. You know, it's lingering like cough and congestion. So, Something in the Walls by Daisy Pierce. Oh my god, I'm like trying to remember. Oh, right. Okay. So this is about Mina. She is a child psychologist and she's trying to get her feet wet in the field, you know, trying to gain experience. And she ends up meeting a journalist, and he introduces her to this family where a 13-year-old daughter is claiming that a witch is haunting her. So again, another like possession type story. I like this one. I thought it was really good. I think I gave it like 3.5 stars because, again, things are left up to interpretation. Is it the trauma and the history of the town, or is it actual possession? Then I read If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. This is a rom-com kind of romance. It has fall vibes, takes place in a small town during Halloween and Thanksgiving, and it is about a newly divorced woman whose mother just died. She goes to take over this B&B, and the hot neighbor next door, single father. You can kind of guess what happens from there. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. 3 stars. So that is my quick little wrap up. There are other books that I started and didn't finish. Quite a few. I can't even remember. They're not on my list. One of them was The Silent Companions. I got like 75% of the way through that book and stopped reading it. And not because I wasn't enjoying it and thought it was unique and interesting. I don't know. I just lost the like will, the want to pick it up. So I stopped reading it. Right now, I am almost at the halfway point of The Strength of the Few. And I don't have much to add other than I'm really, really enjoying it. Highly like driven to pick it up. I'm picking it up every little chance that I get. And that's it for now. Bye. Hi, buddy boy. Happy Thanksgiving week. I'm sitting here with the Christmas Vacation on. You know, the Griswold family vacation, and reading at the same time. I'm like 390 pages in, and I'm just loving this book. Loving it. It's so good. It's executed so well. This might be a slight spoiler, so maybe you want to skip the next minute or two. There's something to be said for the ability to characterize the same character in 3 different ways, in 3 different landscapes, and he has done that so well. I have thoroughly enjoyed each storyline. All 3 of them are so well written, so well done. The characters, these new friends that he's making along the way, are so interesting and intriguing and so unique. None of them are the same. None of them are replicas of the other. They are all different and add something of value to the storyline. One thing that I appreciate is he trusts his reader. You know, he doesn't talk to the reader like you don't understand what's happening, or you can't comprehend or put two and two together. He very much trusts that you as the reader are going to be able to put two and two together and figure things out. Was interrupted. But he trusts that you're going to be able to figure things out on your own without any hand-holding from him, and that is what you have to do. And it just makes for a better reading experience, in my opinion. Anyway, the puppy just came inside, and so I'm gonna go see what he's doing. But I'll check back in. I'm, more than halfway now. So as we approach the end, I will try to reveal to you my feelings and my thoughts without spoiling anything. That's where we are. Talk to you in a bit. Bye! Happy Thanksgiving, friends. Just wanted to jump on in the middle of this video to say happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you all are having a grateful and blessed day with your friends, your family, and I'm just here with my husband and my dogs and my book and feeling pretty happy and satisfied, and that's all I wanted to say, other than I'm quickly rounding the finish line on The Strength of the Few. My feelings have not changed. I'm still very much loving this. I'm loving the 3 storylines and the journey of the character, the ability of this author to take one character and make him into so many things at once. It's feeling very rewarding reading this. It's giving me all the things that I really wanted. Yeah, I'm just feeling very happy and very satisfied. This book has been a great one to kind of start back up on my reading journey. It's not disappointing, that is for sure. So I've also been kind of watching some more booktube videos, which I really kind of stopped doing while I wasn't reading much, and just enjoying hearing all the things on my friends' TBRs. I know that John over at Talking Story is going to be doing a read-along with Lonesome Dove in December, and a part of me wants to join in on that, but I also really want to read Shadows Upon Time, and I don't see how I can do both. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna give it a try, because I've been meaning to read Lonesome Dove for a while. Anyway, that's the update. I will talk to you again soon. Enjoy your day, friends. I will be the last to leave. I won't say a word, just let you. This was such an easy 5 stars. I loved it. I read it pretty quickly, considering I don't have quite as much time to read lately. So if that tells you anything, if you haven't read The Will of the Many, I suggest that you go out and you buy a copy right now and you read that book and then pick this up, because this was a great adventure. I really loved the 3 parallel storylines and the character development that his main character sees throughout the story. I loved all of the supporting characters, the relationships, the ones that are old and new, and how they kind of blend together and come into focus, and you get just a little bit more of each. They really help Vis, or Diago, or whatever you want to call him, be a more well-rounded character. I think that the setting for this story, the 3 settings that you get, they're so freaking ingenious, and I just really, really loved it. I thought it was so good, and I honestly am surprised that more fantasy books haven't kind of done the same thing, and maybe they haven't, I just haven't read them. Basically, there's going to be some spoilers here, but basically at the end of the first book, our main character, he splits into 3, and each person, each one of him, goes into another realm of the world. When there was the cataclysm, it split the world into 3. And so you have Obitium, Lucium, and Res. While it's not actually stated, you get the overall gist that one is meant to be a more heaven-like setting, one is meant to be more like hell, and one is meant to be our world that we live in, or, the main world. I'm probably not describing this well. Anyway, so I just thought that that was really interesting, the way that that played into it, and just watching our main character, the changes that he goes through, new friendships that he makes, and how they, and I'm just wondering, like I'm speculating whether or not in book 3 the 3 V's characters are going to morph back into one when everything comes full circle and the books come to a conclusion. Like, is that going to be a part of it? And will all those aspects of his self still be present? I really, really loved it. I love the characters. I love the setting. I love the writing. It's very straightforward. It's not flowery. It's just pretty basic, but there's a lot of concepts in there that are pretty challenging at times because it's very political. So definitely keep that in mind. You have to keep up with the different levels within the hierarchy, the characters and the roles that they play within the hierarchy, and compared to our main character, Vise. I loved the historical aspects, the mythological aspects. It just all really, really worked so well for me. 5 stars. So glad that I read this, and this is like my main fantasy read, getting back into reading after such a huge slump. I couldn't be happier with my choice. Get me back in the groove. So I also quickly wanted to talk about what I'm going to read next. Because like I mentioned, I'm not reading quite as much. I really only get to read for like maybe 30 minutes to an hour a day, depending. More on the weekends, hopefully, obviously. I'm not like putting huge reading goals in my path just because I don't want to set myself up for failure after such a long reading slump. So I'm going to kind of stick with things that I know appeal to me right now, what the mood reader within me wants to read. And so obviously that is going to include Shadows Upon Time, which I did start, and I am 38 pages in on chapter 5. You know, I'm actually kind of surprised that I have forgotten so much since reading Disquiet Gods, because I really loved Disquiet Gods. I thought it was an epic piece of the story, but I'm finding that I'm like, wait, what happened? So as he kind of, at the start of the story, he gives like a little recap within the tale. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finding myself gradually remembering the details. I don't remember as much as I thought that I would, but I'm super excited to see where Christopher Rocchio takes this journey. We all know how it ends, basically, that he is the Sun Eater, but we don't know how he's gonna get there. Christopher Rocchio has a way with words. He always manages to pull me in, enthrall me, and make me kind of mesmerized, as he's a word magician. The way he writes, it's so appealing to my brain that I just adore it. And from what I understand, he is putting out a new series in 2027. It's going to be a fantasy series. I don't recall the name of it off the top of my head, but I will try to maybe look it up and include it in case you're interested, because if you're not, you should be. This guy is just such an excellent storyteller. The next thing that I put on my radar, and this is a shorter book, but that is Frankenstein. And this came about because we recently watched the new adaptation of Frankenstein with Jacob Elordi, and I adored it. I thought it was so good, so moving. You really get to see the depth of feeling and emotion that is involved in this story. I felt like the desire to pick up the book after watching that movie. If you haven't watched it, you should. It is a sad movie, but I think it was really well done. I think that the visual effects are very appealing and dark and kind of sinister. So those are the 2 that I think that I would probably get to and actually finish this month. If time permits, I may start Lonesome Dove. I know John, the Talking Story, like I mentioned earlier, is doing a read along. I have no expectations other than to finish Shadows Upon Time, and whatever else I get to is just a bonus. So I will keep you posted on my reading updates. So glad to be back. I really hope that you enjoyed this video and that you stay tuned for any next new videos that I might have coming out. I have been kind of delving back into the booktube world and watching some of my favorite booktubers, getting apprised of what they've been reading and what is on their coming TBRs. So maybe I will list some of them down below. I'm sure a lot of you that follow me already follow them, but I'm more than happy to share them because they put out some really great and entertaining content. That's it, my friends. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.